Jenny and Jeff Fox moved into this home 6 months ago to start their new careers and their new lives here in the Hudson Valley. They were extremely happy with the area, the community, and their new jobs. And then, on Tuesday, every homeowner's nightmare happened to them.
Well, we feel scared. We feel not comfortable in our own home. We feel violated.
It was like any other typical morning in the Fox household.
To take Avery to her nursery school, typical morning. Had chocolate chip waffles on the island, got her jacket on, and as we always do, went out the garage, pulled out of the driveway, and went about our day. It was a busy day. You know, I had a number of important meetings that day.
Jenny works at Bridgeway Federal Credit Union, and Jeff is the executive director at Abilities First. And it was when they were at their jobs that the unthinkable happened. Thieves broke in from the garage side door and began to ransack the house.
The people who did this went through every single drawer in our house, from the kitchen to the living room to our bedrooms.
Our closets, took everything off, you know, pulled clothes, personal, and everything out of the drawers in our bedroom.
It's gonna take a while to kind of get everything back in order.
And what hurts the most are the personal items that cannot be replaced.
Yeah, it's the photos, the videos, things that can't be replaced, and the sense that, you know, we invested in a home, we owned our little piece of the world, and people can so easily kind of take that sense away from you.
We feel like this is our safe place. This is where we're supposed to feel comfortable, and we don't feel that anymore. It's not the TV or the computers, it's the memories. There were photos and videos that we will never get back. They're irreplaceable. Those are moments captured in time that are gone. You know, our wedding photos, all of the photos from the time that we dated to our many vacations, and then most importantly, the birth of our daughter. All of those videos, all of those photos, we'll never get those back. Those memories, those times, the moment that our daughter was first given to me.
Here's how it appears to have happened.
So upon pulling into the driveway, I immediately felt this feeling in my gut. I can't quite explain it, just that something wasn't right. Pulled into the garage as I normally do, and immediately noticed the door was open. The door leading from the garage to the house was wide open. I called my husband, thinking that perhaps one of us may have left it open earlier in the day, you know, checking to see if he had come home maybe for lunch and forgotten to close it, but that wasn't the case. I did tell him that I just didn't feel right. I then got out of the vehicle to get our daughter out of the back seat to go into the home, still not knowing that anything was wrong, that anything had happened. And while I was walking around the vehicle to get her out of her seat, I noticed this here. And so I picked it up and thought, I wonder, you know, I was confused as to what that was, and then looked up at the door and noticed that the deadbolt was exposed and this was gone. And I immediately thought, oh no, something isn't right here. So I was still on the phone with Jeff, told him I'm very scared, pulled out of the garage, and within a few minutes he was home. Pulled into the side of the house, parked here, walked over to the door and noticed this here on the ground, this here from the door, and said, yes, we've been broken into, call 911.
So you think that they kind of muscled that door?
Yeah, it looks like they either kicked it or, you know, just hit it with the shoulder or something like that, and were able to break through the frame. So even though the deadbolt lock was on, it looks like it was, you know, that's what happened.
It doesn't even look like anything. You know, you can't tell from this side that really anything was done. But yet it just pushes right open. So this deadbolt here obviously is of no value or importance because they were able to get in.
So you can see that they went through everything in the bedroom and in our closet, I guess looking for anything of value. My wife's jewelry case went through all of our drawers, pulling out clothes, and because I guess, you know, maybe some people hide things of value, jewelry or money, at the bottom of drawers, which we don't. You know, everything in the closet as well. Went through bags and turned things over. I guess trying to find whatever might be valuable.
They also went through the bathroom cupboards, pulling things out, possibly looking for prescription medication.
And the only silver lining is that the one room that was untouched was Avery's.
So for obvious reasons, we would rather not video and show footage of our daughter's bedroom, but the door was open. They could have gone in, but they didn't. And this is exactly how it was. Door wide open, completely untouched. Everything was as it was, and that's where we find that small silver lining of peace and relief.
What the Foxes want everyone to know is that you're never as safe as you think you are.
One of our main issues is that we want other people who live in this community to understand and to know that these kinds of things are happening, and we don't want it to happen to anybody else.
Police are asking anyone with information to call the number on the screen.
If there is someone out there that knows about this situation, knows about where our stuff is, you know, you can keep everything else. You can keep the TV, you can keep the computer. We just want those memories back.
From Lagrange, I'm Charlie Carnaccio, HVNN.com.